Here we have two compact portable shortwave radios. On the left, the Tecsun PL 330, and on the right, the Sihuadon D 808, often sold as the XH Data D808. Now, these radios are similar in many ways, but they do have differences. And I thought it'd be interesting just to look at the pluses and the minuses, the advantages and disadvantages of each radio. Both of these radios cover the HF shortwave bands and they cover the FM broadcast band. Both of the radios are capable of receiving SSB, single sideband, so you can listen to utility stations and amateur radio stations on the HF bands. Both of them also cover medium wave, or AM as it's often called, and long wave, which is still used in Europe. Both of these radios are relatively sensitive on their own internal ferrite antennas on medium wave. They work very well. Both of them are absolutely useless on long wave. You'll hear very little on long wave with either of these radios. And the other interesting thing about these two radios is they both have their own rechargeable batteries. Neither of them use the traditional AA or AA batteries. The Tecsun PL 330 here on the left uses, I think it's called a BL5. It looks like an old Nokia mobile phone battery from 10 or 15 years ago. And the D808 uses an 18650 rechargeable cell. They're commonly found now in the e-cigarette vaping items. They're also used in torches, and indeed the Tecsun S8800 uses two of the 18650s. They're a little more convenient perhaps than the BL5 in the, it's a BL5 or a BL3 in the Tecsun. I'll put the correct definition in the video. But the 18650 cell is a little easier to get hold of. It's quite easy to buy separate chargers for the 18650s, and as I say, they're used in a lot of other items. I would have concerns with the battery that's used in the Tecsun, that, you know, in future years it may not be commonly available if you need to replace it. I think both of the radios would have been better if they run on AA or even AAA batteries, but they both have their own rechargeables. The two of them have their own little quirks and their own good or bad points. If we look at the D808 here first, as well as covering broadcast FM, shortwave, medium and long wave, it also covers airband, and some people might find that to be quite useful. The display, however, on the 808, and we'll just turn it on there and turn the volume down. Display on the 808, while it's okay, is not as nice and not as clear as the display on the 330 there. I think it's a much nicer, much clearer display. But the 330 doesn't cover airband, and perhaps more seriously from my point of view, it doesn't have RDS on FM. Now, why is RDS so useful? Well, I wouldn't normally listen to a lot of FM radio on this D808, but if I was away from home on a holiday or travelling away somewhere, I would be inclined to use it then also as an FM radio, maybe as a bedside alarm clock. And having the RDS facility is very, very useful when it comes to identifying FM stations in a new area. So I would miss the RDS if I was using this Tecsun PL 330. Both of the radios are fairly unpleasant to tune on SSB. They both have the chuffing, the muting problem. But that said, they do receive SSB reasonably well once they're tuned in. They're both quite sensitive. And it is possible through a hidden menu item to calibrate the display on the PL 330, although in a portable shortwave receiver I don't consider that particularly important, as long as you can tune the signal. Even if the frequency readout isn't spot on, that's not normally a problem. But there's very little to choose from both of these radios, either the 330 or the 808. The 330 is slightly more compact and slightly lighter, so if space and weight is an important consideration when you're looking at these two, the 330 might just win out, particularly if you weren't bothered about airband or RDS on FM. Price wise, it depends on whether you're prepared to shop around or not. This 330 came to me direct from China via AliExpress, and it was just over 40 UK pounds. I think it was about 44 pounds delivered. If I bought it from a UK supplier, it would have been almost double that cost, at which point I wouldn't have seen it as quite such good value for money as it is at £40 or £45. And similarly, the D808 I had direct from the XH Data website, and that cost just over £50. In terms of audio quality, they're both again fairly similar. The layout, the ease of tuning, it's a personal preference. At first I thought I would prefer the protruding tuning knob here on the D808, and it's a clicky, sort of a click stop knob, whereas the PL330 here, the tuning knob is slightly recessed, as you can see, but actually I've found in practice that's quite easy to tune and it's not a problem in any way. There are, as I say, a few little differences, but primarily the ease of tuning these two radios around the band is fairly similar. In my opinion, if I was just looking for a shortwave receiver to take out and about, it'll probably be the 330, just because it's a little bit more compact. If I was looking for an all-round radio to take on holiday, it would be the D808, because of the airband included and because of the FM and RDS. The 330 does have FM but not RDS. One interesting little trick that the PL330 has up its sleeve is, as I've said, both of these radios are useless on long wave, but the PL330 does have the ability to use an external antenna on long wave and medium wave, and that can make a real difference. Again, it's a hidden menu function I'm covering in one of my videos, but if you're interested in long wave particularly, by connecting an external antenna to this, it'll make a real major difference. It turns from a very deaf receiver on long wave to a reasonable receiver on long wave. So between the two, not a lot to choose, as I say. For HF reception, if you just want a basic shortwave radio, I would go for the PL330. For more of an all-rounder, it's slightly heavier, it's slightly larger, but not by much, and it uses perhaps a more common rechargeable battery in the 18650 cell. But for an all-rounder to take away with me travelling, I'd probably go for the D808. But there you go, there's the two of them, and the choice is yours. Thank you for watching.